Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
It's morning again.
Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. Ooh, coffee.
I had a mole at my feet.
Ugh. It's a bloodbath.
Bloodbath. Fight. Good morning, Waz.
Good morning, Mr. Waz.
Oh, man. Man, I woke up this morning and I thought, holy shit, they tried to kill the president.
I know.
Again.
Again?
I mean, no, I mean, like, again, I woke up and just went, like, in a state of disbelief, right?
Sorry.
You're enjoying that a lot.
Yeah. Do I need to do anything here?
Not really. Here, I can move this little blob over here over the top of your stuff. Whoa.
What did you do? Oh.
Look, watch.
You're
Watch.
playing
Wherever your
with
stuff
fire.
is, watch.
Ow.
We all know you're heavily medicated. It's all right.
Stop. Not.
You stop.
You stop.
Oh, you stop.
Stop throwing things at me.
You stop. Good morning. Good morning, our Canadian roving reporter, Denise.
Denise. Good morning. Bum, bum, bum.
Our eyes in Canada.
Money.
I feel so unprepared.
Yeah, I know.
good morning, boys and girls. That's right. It is morning again.
It's morning.
And I am Tim, your true slinger today, and that nobody is hippie chick,
Hello.
Yennefer.
Jennifer.
So, good morning to you. We wake up again, once again, in a dystopian reality, kids. Right? I mean, that's kind of where we're at, I think.
Oh man.
On a daily basis, right? I got a little meme I prepared for you this morning. There we go.
You do? Where?
Yes, I do. Wait, here we
Oh.
go. Here we go. Let me make it a little bigger. There we go. Don't you feel like this every day when you get up?
Yes.
But the great part is, like lately, I mean, the cool part is that it's the other side that's like looking like this and screaming and they're losing their damn minds, right? But nevertheless, I mean, the feeling of dystopian reality on a daily basis just never changes. We got like so many clips to go through. Yesterday, we were live streaming the
RNC.
RNC, man, the Republican National Convention.
And we have a vice president now, nominee.
We do, J.D. Vance, and I am extremely happy with the pick. I don't know about you guys. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, RB.
Good morning.
I was thrilled, man. I was absolutely thrilled. Last night, I don't know, man. The stream, yesterday twice, I dropped twice during the RNC convention. Once in the middle, and then once in the evening. And it was like just after Trump came back out. Right? I have sinus problems really, really bad. Okay, I mean, I can't look at all this tissue. Okay, this tissue here. This is all. I go through like paper towels by the roll, and I got to use nose spray all the time. So it's just like, I suppose. That's like the worst of my health conditions. That and my hips, shoulders, and wrists.
Hernia.
Yeah. Well, that's all gone. That's all
Oh, yeah.
fixed and better. Don't be talking about my business down there. So, yeah. So we, the J.D. Vance. I'm very happy with the pick. Very happy with the pick.
Yeah.
He's like, don't know a lot about him, and the only really thing that we got to deal with is he's had this whole little thing where he said, that Donald Trump was Hitler. But beside that, everything is just fine because he's been saved and baptized since then, right? So that's
Who?
his excuse.
JD.
J.D. Vance. So yeah, but that's a little bit of a problem. But I mean, we were watching him with an interview, and I can't remember what it was he said, but he did just some beautiful verbal jujitsu. And
Yeah, I mean, basically
turn it
saying
around.
that-
I think he said something about Kamala, saying that she was, Mamala was saying in the debate, about Biden that he was, racist and crap, and
Right,
put her
right,
on the
right.
school bus personally,
Right.
made her ride to the bad part of town, or I don't know what the fuck she was talking about. So there's that going on, and then President Trump walked out last night onto the stage.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, we'll see some clips and stuff and whatever, but there is the zeitgeist, and I'm not going to beat the
Ooh,
hell
we're
out of
doing
that
that again.
word again, but that is going around right now is that he looks different.
Yep.
And he does.
Yep.
He absolutely, absolutely does. And the reason that that's so important, right, is I think that it's for me is because of that prophetic guy that we were watching about, how he said that when he had that vision that Donald Trump went down and he was like radically saved. I mean, he was
Yeah.
really, really,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, it sure looks like it.
Yeah.
It sure looks like it. I mean, it looks like a different man. It's almost like Joe Biden, like the anti-Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden sometimes, like from one time to the next, looks completely different. But he's changed. The humility about him. It seems like he's grateful just to be alive. It seems like he's in the gravity of the moment.
Right.
Right? Oh, you can't be. Every time you keyboard, if it's touching the keyboard, yeah, that's better.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like working over there on your damn
know, I'm telling
laptop.
you.
Stop. All right, so, but you could tell that he's like in the gravity of the moment, and that he seems to feel. And how could you not feel that you're lifted up by God and the hand of God is on you?
Right.
And they were talking about that. And the left-wing news media, of course, this whole idea that the hand of God is upon him is
Right.
just driving them absolutely batshit crazy because they hate all this. And so everything is going great except for this weird demonic prayer that was inserted right in the middle of the RNC that we missed. And we'll
was
be
that
taking a look at
about?
that. I don't know, the
Very
Baba
bizarre.
Ganoush or some shit like that. We're praying to the Baba Ganoush, which is fine, you know. You're praying to the Baba Ganoush and whatever at the RNC, and we have freedom of religion and all that. You want to go talk about all that shit, but she said the one true God, Baba Ganoush. Now I got a problem with you. Okay, now I got a problem with you, right? That's our saying, right?
Right.
There is one true God. That's our God. And you can have your little idol if you want to, and you can Baba Ganoush away, but don't be calling him the one true God, right?
Right.
Whatever your pansexual, deity is, we don't want it here. I don't want it here. So yes, he took a hit for us, man. He is the Christian warrior personified, and I tell you, it affected me personally. I have not been so emotional literally since 9/11. And you remember what happened on 9/11, right?
Yeah.
I had gotten this out of there with where I was working because of my boss. She showed me his rear end, and wasn't it? We were sitting around at home,
Yeah.
and 9/11 happened.
Yeah,
and
that
we were
would've
just
been-
like, we were on the couch for 2 weeks watching every single bit of news. We were watching Ashley Banfield with her big ass clown glasses back then, and she was down there all covered in dust and stuff. And I mean, we watched all of that stuff, but I haven't been that gripped about anything historically happening
Yeah.
since then. And right now, it's like I feel a lot of pressure personally to get things moving in a certain direction and move toward Florida and everything. But man, it's like I don't want to do anything but what's going on right now because, I'm a political junkie, first of all. But I mean, they just tried to assassinate the president of our United States, my president.
Right.
And you've got people, and we're going to show you some clips, man. You know Chris Wallace, Chris Weenie Wallace, Weenie Chris Wallace, the one who tried to shit in Donald Trump's cornflakes at the debate when he moderated and said, sir, and was, basically
Yeah, right.
teaming up with Biden, right? You remember that one,
Oh yeah.
right?
It's awful.
Was literally quivering in his voice
Yep.
as he watched Donald Trump come out, okay, and everything. He was so moved by the moment
Patriotism.
and the patriotism and the political, the charge that was there, the patriotic charge that was there. He said that it was the most, hands down, and he's not a young man either.
Right.
It was the most electrically charged political moment is in his entire life. And as he said it, you'll see, he was quivering. His voice was quivering. He was on the verge of crying. And this is not the first person that we've seen
No.
that was so totally moved by what had happened. And again, how can you not? Which brings me to my next point, is that the storm of people, we talked about it yesterday, that are out there railing and mad that the bullet missed, and that how the guy couldn't have been a better shot. And somebody got actually suspended from their job because of it. Because
many
they brought
people.
Many people.
Yeah. I've been putting out the stuff, name them and shame them, name and shame them, and then she's also sending out the consequences.
Right.
And there's been a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Probably 25%. I
Good.
mean, there's a lot of.
But it's still, I mean, it's just amazing out there that there are dirtbags. And Destiny, we were just watching Tim Pool, who's also red-pilled just out of his mind. He called Donald Trump my president. My
Right.
president. And yeah, that's the thing that happened, I think. That anybody that's seen the footage, seen Donald Trump's reaction, seen Donald Trump's character,
Right.
has now said that that's my president.
Yeah.
In their hearts, they've said my president, right? And there are people putting on the red hats in San Francisco and people flying Trump flags. And the Democratic Party is pretty much just resigned, right?
Right.
It's just resigned to that Donald Trump's going to win, which is another thing, too, we're going to watch. He has a point, but his head covers it well. That beanie he wears all the time, man. It's like I try to do a hat off, hat on kind of thing. You know, it's like I don't
Really?
want to all be known for my hat. You know, I mean, it's just I'm not all hat, right? I'm more than that. I'm more than just the hat, right?
Yes, honey, you are.
I like to think so.
So much more.
But let me do some older chair aerobics here. 1, 2. Let me do some stretches. Okay, all right, some twisties and get the neck going on here.
So we're gonna see when we go through this stuff. There was just another person in Australia. An American is in Australia. This famous rapper guy named Tenacious D, and he said some stuff about Trump. And too bad they didn't. Too bad that they missed and they didn't kill him. They are deporting him immediately.
Wow.
Yep. I
Well,
guess they're
good.
like, send him back to America. I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just mean and nasty. And everybody came out and were talking about, we got to lower the temperature, lower the temperature, lower the temperature, lower the temperature, lower the temperature. Everybody's got to lower the temperature. Both sides. Everybody got to lower the temperature, mama. I mean,
Yeah, and then
there's
Biden.
your montage, right? I gave you your montage. We don't even need to show two.
Oh, cool.
And then Biden came out last night
Oh, my God.
and decided to give this really poorly timed interview. I mean, like, you're going to see, right? We're going to watch some stuff, whatever we have prepared for you, and I think it'll be fine. Because, but it's a shitstorm out there. I mean, just like, there's no other way to say it. But what we're going to see is Poopy Pants Joey. Poopy Pants Joey, he gets on there. At the same time, it's a love fest. It's a love fest over at the RNC. Nobody over at the RNC has says shit about the Democrats.
Right.
Okay? We're just all pumping the message. Here's our platform. Here's the point. We got a cool vice president. We got the hand of God on our presidential candidate. We love you. I love you. We love me. I love you. We love each other. Everybody loves everybody, right? Everybody fucking loves everybody. And then Poopy Pants comes on. And Lester Holt goes, we need to turn the temperature down. Right? And he says, you did say, bullseye. Put a bullseye on,
What?
on
What?
Trump.
Did
And
I
he
say
goes,
that?
what? I was talking about focus. You need to focus on him. I mean, you guys on the media. You guys,
And Trump lied.
Trump lied. You guys, you're not covering about. But you know what? He's an existential threat to democracy. You're gonna see it. We're gonna break it down for you. No shit. He just goes poopy. He just goes total poopy the whole time. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is definitely not going to turn down the temperature. Not one bit. Not even a little bit. Right? And so the tone deaf, yeah. But still, Kuhn, dude, they're still going with this line. How now? And I mean, think about this. This breaks your mind. And I was listening to Dennis Prager the other day. That says, if you paint him as an existential threat to democracy, and we can talk about what the hell democracy is all day long and whether democracy in and of itself in its raw state is good, because that really means mob rule. But anyway, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But let's just say democracy is good, and it's talking about our democratic republic or our current American system, which you love, and right, because it produced whatever we have here. Let's use that as a definition. If you say that and to a certain degree, what you're saying is you're right, Kuhn. Okay, it is a threat to democracy, but at the same token, we need to figure out how to better be able to phrase what we're saying. Okay, because it looks the same from both sides, even though we are righteous. We are righteous. We are correct, and they're projecting upon us. And it puts us in a quandary. But so far, I think we've been walking the line very well because we've been articulating our policies, whereas the other side is just going, but look, man, come on. He's bad. He's bad. He's bad. And I'm not as bad. I'm not bad. I'm good. Look what I did. And so how in the world do they split these hairs? where he doubled down. He said, we're going to see that Trump is still an existential threat to democracy. How do you have your cake and eat it too? How do you say that someone is a threat
Right.
to everything, but you shouldn't because justify, but morally speaking, if he's really Hitler,
Right.
if he's really a threat to democracy, and he really is fascista, he is fascist, he's Mussolini, he's Hitler, whatever,
Right.
then you should be obligated to take him out.
Yep.
So this ain't working.
No.
I don't know how this is going to wash out in the long run, but we're going to see. I don't think it's going to work out so good.
So,
right?
you know, Amber Rose, she gave the speech last night at the RNC. She's the lady who is a model. And
The black
she's
lady?
She's only 25% black. But yeah, black. She looks mostly black.
All right, look, let's just talk
I'm just
about.
saying.
Look, I mean, appearances. I mean, look at Valerie Jarrett, not black. That lady, she's black. Right, whatever. I mean,
Okay.
one drop rule.
So anyway, and she's got a face tattoo, and she used to date Kanye West or whatever. Anyway, so her speech was very, very good. Everyone was really excited about her showing up. Matt Walsh,
Because she's red pilled, because she went from Democrat,
right,
and her dad said, go research Donald Trump, because she says he's a racist.
right.
Very good speech.
So, hang on. I gotta show you something.
Uh-oh.
Matt Walsh.
Why am I on this camera? I don't want my face on the camera. What am I doing here?
What are you doing?
I'm on the wrong camera. Why am I on the wrong camera? Hang on. I can fix it. There we go.
All right, Matt Walsh. Okay, regarding Amber Rose. The RNC gives a primetime speaking slot to a pro-abortion feminist and self-proclaimed slut with a face tattoo whose only claim to fame is having sex with rappers.
Oh.
Truly an embarrassment. Not a single voter will be mobilized by this person. That's awful.
That's pretty poopy pants.
Yeah. I mean, what if she got saved 6 months ago and she's a different person now?
I certainly don't. Besides, I certainly don't think she's going to turn, in general, off voters from
No,
voting
and
for
she
Trump.
wasn't wearing
and so if we're
anything
trying,
revealing
if we're
either.
trying to be a bigger tent, then just back the hell up. There's a lot of things I like about Matt Walsh, right? There's a lot of things I like about a lot of people. But if you take anything anybody says completely wholesale, because not everybody's right. Most of the time, he's got his head screwed on straight. Like his analysis about women and females in the Secret Service, which is a perfect segue into a little work that I did last night.
Oh, you did work last night?
I did a little work last night, right? Let's take a look at a little piece of work that I did last night. Let me see. Where's the other one? Get on the right tab here. This is my page. This is who I am. I am the Truth Slinger, known as Truth Slinger X. Here's my tip button. Here's
Oh
my
God.
link tree and all that stuff. Okay, here we go. So I did this last night. Right? We're streaming. There we're streaming. Okay, so check this out. I did this little ditty last night. Little package, if you want to call it. I did a package. So I want to give it some more exposure because it's got 1,000 views, 10 comments, 18 forwards, 34 likes, but I think it was better than that, right? So check this out.
Oh my God.
Did you like that? Did you like that?
Benny
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah. I worked very hard on that. So,
It's very
plus that laugh at the end, that was from the Houlihan and Big Chuck show. And every single funny skit at the end, they would do the certain ethnic guy who's always wearing like flood pants, white socks with, dress shoes.
cute. Right.
the Polish, they're Polacks.
Right.
They couldn't call them Polacks. They called it a certain ethnic guy. But anyway, they had that laugh at the end. So I'm keeping a piece of Americana alive every time I use that. So plus Benny Hill, right? Keeping Benny Hill alive, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a direct message button isn't on my profile. Well, I'll have to figure out. You'll have to figure out how to turn that on.
Turn what
A
on?
DM me button, a DM button.
Oh,
Now it's
We
nice.
need
It's nice
to-
to see you, Xtas.
we need to friend them, I think. Or whatever.
Is that what it is? Certain people can't get a hold of me if I haven't followed them. That's the thing. I
think
can't.
that's
I
what it
can't.
is.
Apparently, if like somebody's not following me, I can't DM them. So figure out. Go do something about that.
Ah.
Go be.
All right, I'm following you, Taz. X-Taz.
All right. Hey, Sean. Good morning to Virginia as well. So anyway, that was fun. Let's watch it one more time. Come on.
Oh my god.
Look at it. Put your glasses on. Put them on. Look put your coat down. Look important. Turn around in circles. Oh my god. Total waste of time. I mean, and we talked about this too. What the hell are these women that are only 70%? The whole point of this crew is supposed to be like, you take a bullet for the president. You're a human shield. That's your function.
Yeah, but they were DEA agents.
Right. They weren't even Secret Service. They were DEA
Which is a
agents.
totally different thing.
Yeah.
Protection of a bulletproof vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the other thing is they're dancing around in front of the beast as if somebody's going to penetrate it with a bullet. It's like
A little late.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know what? I mean, wow. Hey, fine. You want to put them in the Secret Service and they can run the dispatch.
Well, or they can maybe protect someone that is their size.
Maybe, or even be a sniper. But see, here's the thing that Matt Walsh talked about. And I don't know if I have the clip. But literally, I'll tell you at the point, and you just have to trust me on it. When it goes pop, 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 and it's
Right.
over, and Donald Trump's on the ground, you hear the women's Secret Service agent going, "What are we doing? What's the plan? Where are we going? What direction are we going?" Okay? Now, wait a minute. That shit should have been all worked out at the beginning. It's called the exit strategy. It's called the exit plan.
Right.
Okay? Women are not wired for stress like that in that environment. They lose their freaking minds. And you saw it right there. They're turning around in circles. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Right.
Now, women are wired for high stress with children in that kind of environment that would lose a man's mind, okay? A man would lose his ever-living flipping mind. But a man in this type of situation, right, is the one that is going to jump into action. He's going to, by nature, be defend,
Right.
right? I saw a picture. This clown lady on the left. Okay, let me see which
one
one.
that
This
couldn't
one.
holster?
The one that couldn't holster. The one that's got her hair all bunched up right here. I got a photograph of her huddling behind,
Yeah.
2 feet behind the pile that is on,
Like-
she's just huddling behind them, hoping not to take a bullet. Useless. Useless, like as my dad said, tits on a boar hog. Okay? So with that, let's move on. So this is breaking. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Breaking. Did I say someone say breaking?
Uh-oh.
They did. Elon Musk is going to be donating
Dotating?
$45 million each, not total, each month until the election's over. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. There's
180
four
million?
there's 4 times that, 180 million, yeah. Because there's exactly 16 weeks left. Apparently, 112 days as of yesterday, I think. So yeah, that's a lot of scratch, man. That ought to get the job. Seal the coffin, as they say, right? So yeah, okay. What is this? Oh, this is the professor. One of the professors has been placed on immediate unpaid leave following our expose, which basically the guy said, very sad that the shooter missed. Very sad the shooter missed. These people are just absolute 100%,
What are you looking at?
1,000% scumbags. What? I'm looking for True Singer. I'm just looking through the feed. So I'm going to go
okay.
to the bookmarks now
All right.
because that's where I'm supposed to be. Apparently. All right, what are we doing? Scott fooling with his hair, man.
Yeah, some of the stuff like we talked about Amber Rose.
He's our favorite, one of our favorite gay guys.
Yeah.
Scott Pressler. He's
And
doing good
Rick-
work out there.
Rick Grinnell. I like Rick
Yeah.
Grinnell too.
Which, and there, there is this whole thing about, is the party really open to this party of gay people? It's like, yes and no. Yes, we'll love you enough to come into the party, but don't expect me to say that I think that it's changed what I think about your way of life, and that eventually you might come to know the love of God and realize perhaps your way of life is not correct.
Right, and
So I can love you
are
there. I
some-
mean-
there's some conservatives that are adamantly against marijuana, and it's got to go. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's the same way with a church. Would you prevent someone coming into a church that was a homosexual? Absolutely not.
right.
But after about 2 years, okay, in the church, and they're not changing their lifestyle and behavior from the sinful one, and we talked about this after a while, then it's like, I don't know. It's a tough spot for the Republican Party to be in. I mean, we want voters, but ideologically speaking, it's definitely, I think that it's like, hey, look, we love you if you just don't stick it in our faces. Right? Just you be you, you do you, I do me.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell. That wasn't such a bad thing,
No.
right? So, what? You apparently haven't seen Reefer Madness, clearly. It's a gateway drug to hell.
To hell.
Oh man. So anyway, all right, what are we talking about here? Okay. So Amber Rose, you just talked about this. Joey Manorino, he seems happy about it. Looks bad as fuck. No one can front on that part.
I think he's saying she looked really cool.
Yeah, hot. Yeah, whatever.
It's gonna help.
He's
her.
got that Joey Manorino language going on.
Joey.
It's hard to, Philly loves this woman. You don't have to understand. Just stand in the way by judging her. So yeah, look, if they're not against us, they're for us. I'm going with Jesus on this one.
Right.
Okay. I'm not. This is the stupidest thing right now, Mr. Matt Walsh, if you're looking at me, because I know you tune in all the time.
Hi, Matt.
Okay. Now is not the time for friendly fire.
Right.
Now is not the time to be shooting at each other. You just need to back up right now.
Yeah.
The Republican Party is doing almost everything right, with the exception of demonic prayers,
Yeah,
which kind of freaked me out a little bit.
is.
But we got to figure out what that is. But we'll get to that. Right? Okay. So definitely greatest grassroots registration movement ever. The Republican Party was genius for getting her in there. But the Republican Party is now pretty much a wholly owned subsidiary of Trump. Because since Laura Trump is
Definitely.
pretty much running the show over the RNC, right?
Yeah.
So Laura Loomer said Trump looked very emotional tonight. You can tell he knows he escaped death. Yes, his demeanor is different tonight. He's going to heal and unite our country. Yes, he's touched. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Donald Trump will heal the world. I hope so. I believe in him, she says. Right. Well, Jesus is going to heal the world. But, he might do it through Trump.
Yeah, he might.
I mean, God moves through people, clearly.
Imperfect people.
So, Senator Babbitt, apparently, this press media release, Australia kicked out Tenacious D.
He's
You ever
a
heard of
famous-
Tenacious D?
I actually have. He's a famous rapper, and I think he's been around like 30 years, maybe, or something. I
He's
don't know.
tenacious. Been around a long time.
He's Yeah.
So he's one of the people that join the crowd that says, "Damn, shame we missed," right?
And he's what, visiting Australia when this
Not
happened?
anymore.
Ooh. Australia kicked him out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye.
now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. See ya.
Wouldn't wanna be ya, right?
Yep.
And right? Don't
Hey.
let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Your music probably sucks like shit anyway. So, okay, here she is. We can watch just a little bit of it. I don't want to watch the whole thing, but she sounds like a very intelligent lady. Now, I don't know shit about her. The
Right,
first,
but the
my
thing
first, my first impression. No, she showed up on with rapper
Forgiato Blow.
Forgiato Blow, right? On his video, and I'm like, "Who's this?"
Ice Ice Baby.
Right? And I'm like, "Yeah, it goes to the
Trump Baby.
Yep. So anyway,
I see no reason for him to have done what he did.
no, because if she woke up and she came to Trump, what you're gonna? I mean, that's like somebody coming to God, and they come
Right.
into your church, and you go, "We don't want your kind here."
Right.
That's not what Jesus did, man. That's not what Jesus did. He hung out with the sinners and the tax
Yep.
collectors and the whoas.
She's a hoa.
She's a whoa.
My entire family is racially diverse, and I believe the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research.
No, that's the preview.
I watched all the
It's over
rallies.
here too.
Yeah.
And I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters.
I mean, she's dressed modestly. Yeah, she has a face
I
tattoo,
realize
but what the hell
Donald
is she
Trump
gonna
and
do
his
about it?
supporters don't
Right.
care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love.
Yeah, Forgiato rocks, man.
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
Look
Yeah.
there's a humility about Donald Trump. You can see it in his face. And we are a
So I let
welcoming
go of my
party.
fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you.
I can't believe that. I'm so disappointed in Matt Walsh right now.
Yep, me too.
Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad.
There's an awakening going on.
I love you, Dad. I love you.
Yep.
I
That's
love
right,
you so
Jeff.
much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell.
Yeah.
Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation
Different
is out
kind
of
of
control.
smoke, dude.
And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president.
That's right.
We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much.
I mean, look, man, that's gold. Come on, guys. That's amazing shit. That's amazing.
Look,
right there.
Trump gave her a standing ovation. Look at that shit.
That was amazing.
My entire family.
Yeah, I thought that was great, man.
Okay, so this guy, play this. He's going to talk about her
Oh, okay, cool.
and what Matt Walsh said.
Oh, what Matt Walsh said?
Yeah.
That's so wrong, right? We shouldn't be at this moment at all shooting at each other
Yeah.
and tearing at each other, right?
Yeah,
Wrong thing to do. Absolutely. There we go. Oops.
Hi, Matt Walsh. Respectfully, I'm here at the RNC convention, and I need you to walk with me over here. So let's have a conversation. I want to just point out to you the ignorance of what you just did, because if we're going to be honest for a second, we talk about all the time how we want celebrities to, to have common sense, to speak the truth, and to get
Breakfast
their
of
audience to
Champions.
think. Not tell their audience what to think, but to get their audience to think. So here you have Amber Rose, someone who has been famous for decades now, telling her audiences to think for themselves and to look into conservative values and to hear it out. And instead of embracing that you are being a hater and a troll,
Yeah.
yes, Amber Rose is very open about the fact that she used to be a far leftist, but now she's realized how many of the lies she bought into from the far
Yup.
left. So no, instead of condemning her and shaming her about her past, maybe you should look into what it was that opened up her mind so that you can convince people to think for themselves as well instead of turning them away from the right. Hi, Matt Walsh.
Exactly.
Respectfully, I'm here at the RNC convention,
couldn't
and
have
I need you
said
to
that
walk
any
with
better,
me over
right?
here. So let's have a conversation. I want to just
Yep, absolutely right. She seems to be a good spokesman, and hey, I was red pilled. Who cares where she's at on her journey either, right? I mean, maybe you're gonna see 3 months from now, 6 months from now, she's gonna have that stupid crap removed off of her forehead, or so she might think that it becomes stupid and she doesn't want to be marked anymore, and she might have it laser removed. You don't know. But I think that we're guilty in this country of many times looking at people in a static way,
Right.
and we just don't ever give them a chance. Now, it's one thing to flip-flop all the time, but if someone really has a change of heart along the way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. She was dressed modestly.
Right.
It's like, okay, I could probably see if she went out there and she was like acting like she used to act. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she's not. Like you said, she didn't come out hanging out. She's modestly dressed. She came out. She spoke well. She was nice. She didn't drop an F-bomb.
Yeah.
Yep. So, do you want to play this clip out of this, or do you want to play the whole interview?
I think we should go through the whole interview.
I agree. You want to do that now?
Yeah. So in the middle of the RNC, they played this interview that Lester Holt did with Biden.
Yeah,
This
like we
was-
showed you some of the energy, and we haven't shown you him walking in yet, or whatever when he came
No,
in. But we'll go back to that because I want you to contrast the two, right? The love fest. Oh, and by the way, Richard Simmons died.
Yep.
Yep.
And so does Shannon.
Very sorry
Doherty.
about that.
Oh,
Yep, dead as a doornail. Poor little homo. Okay, he was a nice homo. I mean, nice. Apparently, they made fun of him when he was a kid, right? And then he lost all his weight because he was a little fat kid. I mean, I don't like to see anybody die. Okay, nobody on our side really likes to. All right, so where am I at? We're going to go find the interview. Is it under history? You put it
Yep.
under history.
yep.
It's history.
He studied.
History.
Go down a little bit.
Down a little bit.
That's it.
This one?
Yep. I think.
Okay, guys,
Yep.
strap on.
This is amazing. Okay,
Strap
so
on.
we're watching the RNC. Everyone's happy and
Like I
upbeat
said,
except for Matt Walsh.
All you need is love.
Dun,
Ba, ba, da, da,
dun,
da. All you need is love. Love. You get it, right? That's what was vibing. That was going on, right? You say, it's love, and then this is
They
this
broadcast
is
the
this.
interview.
All right, let me get it set up so that
And this is on the heels of the assassination attempt, and everyone's happy at the RNC, and Trump's alive, and there's all this great energy.
right.
And the last few times Biden has spoken, it's been an opportunity for him to talk down about political violence.
Right.
So, but this interview was just totally woo off the rails.
Right. Okay. So check it out. I think we're good here. Good to go. Pretty much in the middle. And make sure it's in the middle. And wait. Oh God. I gotta do everything. You know what I'm saying? I do everything.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. This is amazing. Let's break this down together. See all the love. It's love. And we break away from the RNC because I want you to think about what's going on over here and how the look.
Tonight, an NBC News special, our exclusive interview with President Biden.
They say timing is everything. Okay? This was not the time for the bluebird of happiness here.
Right.
What did I call him? President Potato Head.
Twice baked
President Potato Head.
This president, there's a lot to talk about. The president's urgent message to a deeply divided nation. Grappling with the fallout from the assassination attempt on former President Trump. The president calling for unity, even as he presses on in his bid to defeat him. And Republicans gathered to nominate and celebrate the man looking to reclaim the White House.
This is an NBC News special. Live from the White House, here's Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome to our special coverage. We're live at the White House, where earlier today I sat down for an exclusive one-on-one interview with President Biden. During our conversation, the president called on all Americans to tone down the heated rhetoric in the wake of the assassination attempt on former President Trump at a rally over the weekend.
That's what you're
But he
focusing
also
on?
doubled down on staying in the presidential race himself, despite calls from within his party to step aside. Our interview comes as Republicans kick off the first night of their convention in Milwaukee, formally making Mr. Trump their nominee to be the next president. We'll have full coverage led by my colleague Savannah Guthrie from the Convention Center after our interview with the president. But earlier today, I started by asking President Biden about his phone call with Mr. Trump after the assassination attempt. Here's our unedited conversation in its entirety.
Unedited.
Mr. President, thank you for sitting down with us. There's a lot to talk about. I'd like to start with the horrible events of last weekend. It has shocked a lot of Americans. A political rally, your opponent, Donald Trump, shot in the middle of greeting his supporters. You spoke to Mr. Trump afterward. Can you give me a sense of that conversation?
Very cordial. I told him how concerned I was and wanted to make sure I knew how he was actually doing. He sounded good. He said he was fine. And he thanked me for calling him. I told him he was literally in the prayers of Jill and me. And I hope his whole family was
In the
weathering
prayers
this.
of
You
Jill
were
and me.
in Delaware when this happened. What was your first reaction?
My first reaction was, my God, look, there's so much violence now, the way we talk about it. I mean, the whole notion that there is this, there's no place at all for violence in politics in America. None.
Look, it was just
Zero.
searching for that.
And we've reached a
Talking
point where
point.
it's become too commonplace, not assassinations, but to talk about it. For example, the January 6th, the attack on the Capitol.
January 6th.
Lester, I got in this.
So basically, he's going right away. He's going back to talking about Trump and our insurrection again, our erection. He's talking about our erection.
Race early on in 2020 for the 2020 race. I wasn't going to run again because I lost my son. I didn't feel, and until I watched what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. Those folks coming out of the woods with torches, carrying swastikas, singing the same Nazi bile. It was accompanied by this Ku Klux Klan, and a young woman was killed. And I was a bystander. And then president, was asked, "What do you think?" He said, "They're very fine people on both sides."
Okay. All right. Now, Lester Holt. This was 3 weeks ago already. 4 weeks ago, maybe. Snopes, a liberal fact-checking
Yep.
website, finally, after 7 years, said,
Changed the thing.
changed a thing and said, this is actually false.
Right.
He was talking about the people that were upset about getting the monuments taken down, and then, the people on the other side who are concerned about, I guess racism or whatever. They're fine people. That
Yeah,
that's who he
right.
was talking about. And he specifically, not only that, said, I am not talking about the white nationalists and the Nazis and stuff
Yeah,
like
right.
that. And they
Right.
cut that part out. So here on national television, after an assassination attempt upon his opponent, he once again lies and says he's a
Yeah.
white supremacist,
Inflammatory.
inflammatory. This is highly inflammatory, guys.
Not fine people on both sides. No excuse. Zero.
Well, let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud, and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye.
Mikey.
There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that
I didn't say
words matter.
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
Okay, so he said it was a mistake, which I think was a huge, because you're never supposed to admit you make a mistake, right? At least the way as far as a politician is concerned.
Well, he keeps talking about crosshairs. He's like, I didn't say crosshairs.
Right,
no one's
right.
saying
No
he
one
did
said he
say
said
that.
bullseye. No, he said bullseye.
Right.
He doesn't even know what he said.
Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus.
Right, like the left wing news media has it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Been looking up Donald Trump's rumperoid, right, with the microscope,
What did
with,
you
with an
call it?
endoscope,
Oh,
right, doing an endoscopy on Donald Trump, trying to find something, and he's going, "What's the matter with you? Well, come on, what's the matter with you? Look at the other guy." It's my best Marlon Brando, right?
oh, okay.
Because I mean, there's a whole range of things that look. I'm not the guy that said I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept.
Now listen to this. Just had a bullet pass through his ear.
He was shot.
He was shot. And for the last day and a half, the news cycle has been constantly saying the temperature's too high. We've got to turn the rhetoric down.
Right.
And this was the bright idea of the Biden campaign. During the
RNC.
Convention of Love, to have Poopy Joe come out and be Mr. Negative. Go negative, totally negative. But again, they're in a quandary. Their entire campaign, oh yeah, I know, they went batshit crazy because they put targets. We're targeting these areas for like voters or something. Yeah. Crazy stuff. And then the woman got shot and they tried to sue her and I think they lost.
Yeah.
So
The outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that one would accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying, and I mean the idea.
So he just said he hates the country. Donald Trump hates the country because he only loves it when he wins, right? I mean, this language is highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. I didn't like the noises my throat made there when I said the high.
Have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching
He's
on
not
things
getting
that you
one
may have
anymore.
said that could incite
Soul searching.
people who are not balanced?
You got to have a soul to soul search, right? Right? Got to have a soul, dude. There's no soul searching going on here. Nada. Nil. Zitch. Zero.
Well, I don't think. Look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says
The threat to democracy. Here we still, right? How has he turned it down 1 degree Fahrenheit at all? Except you didn't use the word existential. That's all. He's still saying he's a threat to democracy. This is crazy tunes right now. And this isn't even like a quarter way in yet, guys.
things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody?
Now,
Look,
let me back that up. He says,
well,
he's a threat to democracy. What am I supposed to do? Not say something because it might because it might incite somebody to violence? Yeah. That's what everybody's saying. Yeah. Maybe that's what you shouldn't do because it might incite somebody to violence, you stupid prick. You stupid, demented old motherfucker. Evil bastard. Holy shit.
And done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite
You think maybe
people
just
who are not balanced.
one or two things, maybe?
well, I don't think. Look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I've not engaged in that rhetoric.
What?
Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about.
I have not engaged in that rhetoric.
No, that's a big fat lie.
I mean, what?
He's doing it right now.
Right. In the act of denying what you're doing in the middle of doing it is what is the definition of the word rich.
Right.
How he's going to forgive all the, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who
He can barely
were
talk.
arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of.
So again, not only think about this failure politically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is this not addressing turning down the temperature because this huge situation of an attempted assassination, right? Not to mention the whole how the fuck did that even come about? Because how did anybody get near Donald Trump with a gun, right? So there's all that thing swirling around. But we've been talking about the president being non-compos mentis, and his entire job right now is to assure people he's there, man. Come on, man. He's good, right? But instead, he's here fomenting the hatred that just put a bullet hole punch right through Donald Trump's ear.
Right.
You can't make this shit up. This is so insane. I mean, if I were like, okay, you can implant any thought you want into the political advisor of the president's head is what he should do. What should he do? This is what I would have done. I would have said, go do this. You're going to self-destruct.
Like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
This doesn't sound like you're turning down the heat, though. You've talked about
No.
the.
Look, what I'm turning down, we have to stop.
Come on, man.
The whole notion that there are certain things that are contrary to our democracy that we're for. The idea of saying that I didn't win the election when every court in the land, I don't know, 20 appeals said, including this conservative Supreme Court, said we won. The idea of having a loyalty pledge from all the folks who are in the Republican MAGA, not all Republicans, the MAGA Republicans, saying that no, we lost the election, inflaming the people to say,
So what can you and what will you do, at least things you can control to lower down the temperature, the rhetoric out there?
Right. He's doing a half-ass, in my opinion, job of trying to hold the president to the point. Mm-hmm. Half-ass, okay.
Not great.
Not
but
great.
Better than
Not great,
expected.
but at least, and he can't even handle this. I mean, this is still softball. I mean, on a scale of, 10 being the hardest interview you ever had, this is like 3, 4, maybe on hard hitting, but at least we're getting somewhere.
continue to talk about the things that matter to the American public. It matters whether or not you accept the outcome of elections. It matters whether or not you, for example, talk about how you're going to deal with the border instead of talking about.
How about it matters that apparently your party and rhetoric does not seem to accept the fact that they may lose this election, so we need to kill the opponent, right? We need to imprison the opponent. We need to slur him and say he's evil, vile, Hitlerian. What about that? What about all of that? No. Look at the monkey. Look at Trump. Look at Trump. He brought this upon himself, man.
People as being vermin, and I mean, those things matter. That's the kind of language that is inflammatory.
Mr. President, you've been in politics a very long time, so let's speak frankly. We're all adults here. Has this shooting,
Hey, let's be frank,
changed the trajectory of this
I like
race?
Frank.
I don't know,
Frank's a good
and you
dude.
don't know either.
I don't know, but is it something you've given thought to?
No, I've thought less about the trajectory of the case than two things. One, what his health is, that was secure, number one. And
You know, Waz, you're exactly right, man. These people, right, it's totally okay. I mean, I can show you a montage of people trying to not certify an election that are
Right.
Democrats because
Right.
it didn't turn out the way they wanted. And Hillary Clinton has been denying the results, Russian disinformation,
Oh, my God.
Sexism, racism, right, the patriarchy. She's been denying the results of the election. It was stolen from her the whole time. So the Democratic Party, right, how in the world, but it's like there's no shame in politics. 10 minutes ago, you could have been doing one thing and you'll say something completely different if the wind's changed.
Right.
This is the way it is. But we're all supposed to pretend as if these people are just such supporters of the outcome of elections. What about drive a car through those gap in those teeth, Stacey Abrams? The president of Earth, Stacey Abrams. Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek, the who cares about generation, whatever
Yeah.
anymore. The
Yeah.
seventh iteration of the fucking woke television that's gone terribly wrong, just like the Star Wars whole franchise has gone into the toilet, gone
Yeah.
woke.
Yeah, right.
Man, Stacey Abrams still thinks she's governess. Governor. Why do they say gubernatorial?
Gubernatorial, I don't
There's
know.
no B anywhere in the damn thing. English is so screwed up.
number two, what happens from here on in terms of the kind of coverage that the president and vice president and former president and new vice president get in terms of, look, I've never seen a circumstance where you ride through certain rural areas of the country and people have signs there, big Trump signs with middle signs saying F Biden, and a little kid standing there putting up his middle
This
finger.
is hilarious.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that is just inflammatory and a kind of viciousness. It's a very
See, he's talking about something that happened to him when he was driving around in his motorcade
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but Mr. President, Donald Trump has been shot in the ear yesterday.
Shot in the head, if you really
In the
want.
head, shot in the head yesterday. And you're actually sitting here, and when the question is, how do you lower the temperature? You're saying Donald Trump's kids on Donald Trump's side should stop flipping me off? Why do you think everybody's like, fuck Joe Biden? Mm-hmm. Why do you think? Well, because you're so totally tone deaf, you don't understand everybody hates you.
different thing than to say, look, I really disagree with the way he takes care of taxes, the way he wants a $5 trillion tax cut for people who are making a lot of money next time around.
Taxes?
Doesn't focus on working class people.
But those are policy issues, and our history is a country that can thoroughly hash out those issues.
And if you notice, what do I talk about with him? The policy issues where he's dividing the country. The policy issues that relate to democracy.
Another question, if I can, about Saturday. Of course, the former president was wounded. One of his supporters died. A couple more people were seriously injured. Was this a massive security failure?
I have had 2 meetings in the Situation Room with all the intelligence communities,
Now
the
listen to
FBI, Secret Service, et cetera, and I've asked for a totally independent analysis, and we'll see what happens when that comes back.
Do you have do you have confidence in the Secret Service? Do you feel safe?
I feel safe with the Secret Service, but look.
Well, look.
And you saw what we did see was the Secret Service who responded risked their lives in responding. They're
We
ready
saw
to give
that,
their lives to
didn't
the
we?
president. The question is, should they have anticipated what happened? Should they have done what they needed to do to prevent this from happening?
Yeah, no
That's a
kidding.
question. That's an open question.
Is it acceptable that you have still not heard, at least publicly, from the Secret Service director?
Well, I've heard from them.
Oh.
Look at the closed captioning.
I've heard. It says her.
But I heard it's him saying
He
him.
said him. Oh, I've heard from him. That's exactly what he said. Oh, I've heard from him. Listen, tell me.
Still not heard, at least publicly, from the Secret Service director?
Well, I've heard from them.
I've heard from him. I can see his little lips go mum.
Yep.
I can see it. But yet it says I've heard from her. Because the AI cleaned it up that fast. The AI knows that the Secret Service director is a lesbian woman.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know why I thought it was relevant who she decides to sleep with. But yeah, DEI hire, right? And he said, I've spoken to him. You haven't spoken to anybody at the Secret Service because you don't even know who the head of the Secret Service is. Right? Wow, jeez, man. Guys. But this is a train wreck, so rejoice. Celebrate good times, right?
But have you heard from her publicly?
Publicly, I've sat down in a Situation Room downstairs with the Secret Service, the FBI, the national security agencies, the Homeland Security, all the major elements. And there's 2 pieces of this, too. And it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. There's a major piece of this relates to domestic, local law enforcement. They play a large role. And so there's a different I'm not saying they weren't competent either. I'm just saying it's a complicated process.
It's
and
hard,
what has
man.
changed,
It's
by the way,
hard.
Lester, is me, I like to meet people. I like to walk out, shake hands, move, look at people in the eyes, see what they're thinking. It's really curtailed that ability on my part and everybody's part.
Oh,
And
so now
because
what are
there's
you
a heightened
talking about? You're talking about the Secret Service. It's hard because you're campaigning. You need to be close to the people, kiss the babies, sniff the girls, little girls, and it's hard now to do that. It's hard. It's hard because of the security. It's hard, man. What the hell are you even freaking talking about right now? I mean, he's just wandering around in a verbal purple haze here.
That when you say there's nothing wrong with going to the Capitol,
Oh, God.
breaking
Please.
in, threatening people, a couple cops dying, hanging.
Okay, there he did it again.
Rhetoric.
There he did it again.
Lying.
No cops died on January 6th.
No.
No cops. Nope. One patriot, Ashley Babbitt, died that day. And the other cop died of natural causes.
There was another woman that died. She got trampled.
Oh, one got shot, murdered by the police. Right. And the other one got trampled.
Right.
And died. Right. Yep. I was right next to her best friend while I was waiting for my Uber, and he was sobbing just in disbelief. He was like, 1 minute she was there, and then she was gone. She was just, it was horrible. I'll never forget that day. And fuck Joe Biden.
Putting up a noose, a gallows for the former vice president.
He's
You
being
think this is
And then you
inflammatory.
say you're going to forgive people for that? You're going to pardon them? That was
Okay,
just,
so no, apparently no spirit of forgiveness or reconciliation going on here.
Nope.
What about if he just said, you know what? What about if he would come out? Think about this. I'll give you a political genius idea. Tonight, in the spirit of reconciliation, I, President Joe Biden, have decided that we need to heal as a nation. And that even though January 6th was a terrible day, we had violence at the Capitol, we didn't want it, we should have had it. People have been punished enough. I think everybody gets it. We need to heal as Americans. They're all pardoned. Let them all out.
Yeah, right. No way.
But tell me that would not have been a brilliant
Oh, yeah.
move. And probably the only hope in his presidency at all. But he's not going to do that because he's a political moron. He is a narcissistic, evil, self-deluded, and not even self-deluded, but deluded by his poisonous family around him and his poisonous wife and his poisonous son. Ugh.
normal response. That is not. I have my entire career voted against and railed against and moved against the idea of violence is never appropriate. Never, 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 never,
Liar.
never in politics.
By the way,
ask you about-
by the way, sure it is. Violence is sometimes necessary in politics. I would put forth that, well, let me give you an example. Just one. Our country was born in 1776. Through a bunch of people started to play violins.
Right.
Right? That's what happened. They started the violins. Right? And so what happens if they would have not missed
Right.
the President of the United States? I would say it would be time to start playing violins. I mean, I think people would start playing violins because at this point, you know, there's no other. You've eliminated every other option, the evil side, from the side of good. And at some point, what happens is like, you know, we're not going to take it. No, we ain't going to take it. We're not going to take it anymore. And so that's a lie. Do you understand? I'm trying to get across to you that that's a brute force lie. Like, political violence is not appropriate when there is a healthy election system,
Right.
when we have a healthy country, all of that stuff. Besides the fact that the next layer is that it's hypocritical because they all supported, you and your administration supported all the BLM riots in 2020. So, you know, you have no credibility. And the fact that this son of a bitch lectures us is just so insulting to me.
About some other developing news today, if I can. Judge Cannon dismissed the documents case, as you may have heard, in Mar-a-Lago.
Sure did.
Can I first get
That's
your
a bummer
reaction
for
to
them,
that?
huh?
I'm not surprised. It comes from the immunity decision the Supreme Court ruled on, and Clarence Thomas, in his dissent, said that
I
independent
think he said that
prosecutors
I've ruled on. I mean, this guy is a verbal mess. And your brain, you just
I
go.
thought he was doing pretty good here. He knows.
But I mean, maybe I missed it. Maybe it's just he's mumbling. But I mean, I hear these things and then I go, wow, did I really hear that? Like, because my brain wants to go fill
fill in and fix.
Yeah, and
fix
fix it for him.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It comes from the immunity decision the Supreme Court ruled on, and
I've ruled on.
Clarence
No,
Thomas.
Supreme Court ruled on.
But he said that as well, the Supreme Court as well. But he put an I've in there, like I've ruled on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's verbally he's a mess.
Thomas, in his dissent, said that independent prosecutors appointed by the Attorney General aren't legit. That's the basis on which this judge moved to dismiss. And, but I didn't.
That's right. Little factoid for you, Arby. That all the other special prosecutors and every single one of them, it's illegal. It's unconstitutional. They have to be appointed by the United States government, by the Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one was done by the Senate, confirmed and appointed by the Senate, but not Jack Smith.
Jack. He was
Not Jack.
Not legit.
Not Jack. He's a fake, counterfeit.
He's fake.
He's
Fake news.
Fake news. I'm gonna go put on some coffee water.
Are you gonna play? Are you gonna play
I'm
this?
gonna keep playing it. So you comment while I put the water on.
Scared to look at me. They spent months on my going through, and I was totally cooperative. In and out of my house. I don't know, the last time in, there were like 10, 12 agents in my house for 9 hours unaccompanied, going through every single thing I had. That's appropriate. And they looked at me and concluded I didn't do a damn thing wrong.
Oh,
but my generic point is
generic
it's
Oh, is that the generic point? He's been doing that lately. He's done it.
he's adds
What is
his
a
words.
generic point?
No idea.
Well, he's going to tell us. What's his generic point?
well,
I think he forgot it.
the basis
He's pretty much forgot the generic point.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have one. Oh, Lord.
upon which the case was thrown out, I find specious because I don't agree with
Specious?
Clarence Thomas' dissent and or the Supreme Court decision on immunity.
In light of this decision, the delay in the Georgia case, the Supreme Court decision on immunity, which you referenced, the former president has seen a series of legal wins recently. You have actively campaigned on his legal woes. Can you do anything like that anymore?
Well, sure, I can talk about what I think is appropriate. What I think is appropriate. I think the Supreme Court made a terrible decision. I think the justices he appointed have, in fact, been the most conservative. And I would argue, if you survey constitutional scholarship, they seem out of touch with what the founders intended.
Before this violent turn of events over the weekend, the talk, as you know, was about you and your future, if you should stay in the race. Your allies, James Clyburn, Nancy Pelosi, have kind of put it out there that they're waiting for your decision, giving you time to make your decision. What I hear from you is that you made your decision. Are you still comfortable in that decision? Has anything changed in the last several days?
He gets mad in this interview at some point.
What do you make of people like Nancy Pelosi, though, who seem to be of the opinion that there is a window for you to make this choice? What aren't they getting?
Look, we knew this was going to be a close race from the moment he announced. The idea that we are in a situation where,
That's so much
if you look at all the polling
denture
data,
sucking.
the polling data shows a lot of
Yeah.
different things, but there's no wide gap between us.
No.
It's essentially a toss-up race.
It's a totally toss-up
and
race.
I think one of the arguments that get made, you have the most
I
successful.
mean, look at this. Look at this look on his face. He's on another planet, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Now, I honest to God think it must be that Hunter, that he's got a circle of about 6 people, right? And he's one of them. And they're telling him, it's good, it's fine. It's a toss-up. Everything's just fine. They must be. They must be.
Presidency of any president in modern history, maybe since Franklin Roosevelt, passed more major legislation no one thought could get done. We're able to put together a consensus. We're able to unite NATO. We're able to deal with foreign policy. Why don't you just decide to rest on those laurels? And the answer is because the job's not finished.
Do you feel
how
like
you
you've
gonna
weathered the
finish
storm on this issue of whether you should be on the ticket or not?
Look, 14 million people voted for me to be the nominee in the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Listen to them.
Okay.
In your last TV interview, you were asked
You know-
if you had
you know what's
watched the
really
debate.
funny?
Your answer was,
Is this? I don't know if you noticed, but there's a number of times Lester Holt he's intimidated by the president of the United States. He's intimidated by this potato head president. and every now and again he goes, okay, like, because he's intimidated and nervous. I'm like,
You can
you're
hear
a
it.
pussy.
Yeah.
Okay? I'd be ripping this guy a totally new asshole. Why aren't you? Right? I mean, you know, it's like, but I don't know, man. Terrible.
I don't think so, no. Have you since seen it?
I've seen pieces of it. I've not watched the whole debate.
And the reason I ask, because I guess the question is, are you all on the same page? Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
Lester, look. Why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told?
Oh, here we go.
Where are you
Where are you?
on this? Why didn't the press
Come
ever
on,
talk
man.
about that? 28 times. It's confirmed he lied in that debate. I had a bad night.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling well at all.
Yeah.
And I had been.
Back off, man.
I screwed up.
Yeah.
But if
I just asked the question because the idea that you may or may not have seen what some of these other folks have seen, you're not on the same.
I'd have to see I was there.
Look at this.
I'd have to see it. I was there. And by the way, seriously, you won't answer the question, but why didn't the press talk about all the lies he told?
Well,
I haven't heard anything about that.
We have reported many of the issues that
No,
came up
you
during
haven't.
that debate.
No, you haven't.
We'll provide you with them.
God love you.
Okay. President Obama put out a statement after the debate, but
Cringe.
should he and Michelle Obama be doing more to express their confidence in you?
Oh, they
No,
hate each
They're
other.
helping me. They've helped me from the beginning. This is my job to get this done.
Have you talked to him recently about this?
I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks.
Have you talked to him since this issue came to light, since the debate?
Yeah, you know.
I don't think I may have. I don't think so.
Who do you listen to
maybe
on
not.
deeply personal issues like the decisions whether to stay in the race or not?
I know it's hard.
Me.
It's almost over. You can do it.
Look,
You can do it.
I've been doing this a long time. The idea that I'm the old guy, I am. I'm old.
We
I'm
know.
only 3 years older than Trump, number one. And
Trump just got a bullet through in his head and got up and did a fist pump and said, fight. You look like you're about to fall off your freaking chair. You look like you're about to die. You look like that instead of the nuclear football being carried around behind you, they should be carrying around the paddles with the grease. Okay? Yeah, cough. Look. I mean, man. This is a joke. This is Saturday Night Live material, kids.
two, my mental acuity's been pretty damn good. I've gotten more done than any president has in a long, long time, in 3.5 years. So I'm willing to be judged on that. I understand why people say, God, he's 81 years old. Whoa. What's he going to be when he's 83 years old or 84 years old? It's a legitimate question to ask.
So what's the
I want to
answer?
ask you about, just shortly before you and I sat down, former President Trump named his vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance. What does that tell you, his qualities, what does that tell you about former President Trump's values in terms of who he will surround himself with in a next administration should he win?
Well, it's not unusual. He's going to surround himself with people who agree completely with him. Have a voting record. I support him. Even though if you go back and listen to the things that J.D. Vance said about Trump.
Well, he said some things about you, yeah.
Oh, no, well, he said something about me, but see
look
what he
at him.
said about Trump.
Look at
What's with
Trump.
you guys? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Look,
Come on, man.
The point
Come
I'm
on,
making
man.
is that J.D. Vance has adopted the same policies, no exceptions on abortion, making sure that he supports the new $5 trillion tax cut that Trump wants to give in the next administration, signing on to the whole notion of whether or not we're going to, he says there's no climate change happening. I mean, he signed on to the Trump agenda, which he should if he's running with Trump.
Yes. Which he
Mr. Trump said
should.
he's giving you a
Exactly.
chance to redeem yourself. Basically, the idea of engaging
Oh
in
God, look
another
at this.
debate.
What is this freakishness? I mean, see what I'm saying? What was
Throwing
that?
his head back and
The
laughing.
Joker. Holy shit,
It's happening.
guys.
I mean, he signed on to the Trump agenda, which he should if he's running with Trump.
Mr. Trump has said he's giving you a chance to redeem yourself. Basically, the idea of engaging in another.
Oh my God. This
Jeez, it just doesn't look right.
this is the president of the United States of America, kids. This fossilized relic of a shitty, evil, ancient politician. This fossilized turd is, oh my God. It's painful. It's painful. But at the same token, it is a bit delicious at the moment.
Debate.
We're going to have another debate.
Yeah, you're going to have one in September that's on the books.
Well, let's have another
Would you
one.
be open to doing one in the next few weeks?
Yeah.
I'm going to debate him when we agreed to debate, and I'm going to debate him in September.
You're going to rebate him?
But if
He's
the
gonna
opportunity
get
came up to
rebated.
do one between now and then, is there a sense of wanting to get back on the horse?
I'm on the horse. Where have you been?
Come on,
I've done
man.
22 major events.
Come on,
And
man.
thousands of people.
Come on, man.
Overwhelming crowds.
Come on,
a
man.
lot happening. I'm on
Come
the
on,
horse.
man.
What I'm doing is going out and demonstrating to the American people that I have command of all my faculties, that I don't need notes, I don't need
Sure you are.
I can go out and answer any questions
Doesn't
at
need a
all.
teleprompter.
And I stood there when NATO was in town. I stood there for an hour and answered questions.
If you were to continue to run and be officially nominated, what happens if you have another episode like we saw during the debate?
What happened?
Yeah, what happens if you have another performance on that on that level?
I don't plan on having another for us on that.
We're going to have another episode.
All right. Mr. President, it's always good to talk to you, good to see you. Thank you for making some time for us.
Sometimes come and talk to me about what we should be talking about.
All right.
Okay, the issues.
Always happy to talk.
Wow.
So bad.
Wow. So, do we think that he did a good job turning down the temperature, boys and girls? No. Here's my opinion. So, yeah, man, that was just pathetic. So that right there was amidst all the love going on at the Republican National Convention, RNC. So let's talk about the border with Vice President Harris for a moment. That's always fun. It seems like a good thing to do.
We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the point. But you haven't been to the border. I haven't been to Europe either. Well, that's not even good either. You are the vice president. Maybe you should have fucking gone to Europe at some point. Here, so tell me about what you think about Kamala Harris while I fix the coffee real quick. Talk about Kamala Harris or move on to this next thing. What are we looking at?
Oh, Tim Scott.
Talk about.
Well,
let's
let's play it.
Play it,
Okay.
and then you talk about it while I'm making coffee.
Okay, I'll make coffee.
This is a pretty good clip.
This is really good.
You're gonna like this. Now, I love this guy, but if he snuck up on you in the middle of the night in the dark, and then all of a sudden open his eyes real quick, he'd scare the shit out of you. He would. You know.
Go make coffee.
If you didn't believe in miracles before Saturday,
Yeah.
you better be believing right now.
That's right.
Thank God Almighty
Thank God.
that we live in a country that still believes in the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and the Omega. And our God still saves.
To
He
the
still
uttermost.
delivers. And he still sets free. Because on Saturday, the devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle. But an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared.
And he roared. Yeah.
He roared.
Wow. That was amazing. That was probably the best speech I've ever seen Tim Scott do. And I guess I'm kind of glad that he picked J.D. Vance and not Tim Scott, because I know that he really liked Tim Scott. And Tim Scott got engaged. There's a whole big controversy about that. Are you almost done?
Yeah. He got engaged. When did he get engaged?
He got engaged like 2 months ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know much about him.
No. Well, he's big buds with Lindsey Graham, you know, and he's from South Carolina.
Well, I like the fact that he's a common guy. He's going to appeal to the...
Oh, you're talking about J.D. Vance?
Oh, yeah. Who are you talking about?
I was talking about Tim Scott.
Oh, Tim Scott.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
Yep.
I also like Byron Donalds.
I love Byron
He's
Donalds.
nice.
He was my secret favorite.
Yep.
And I like Vivek too.
Yep.
I wonder if Vivek might run for the Senate position to replace J.D. Vance.
All right, now I want to watch something a little more fun, and if you know anything about the Trumps, the Trump boys are just so bright. I can't wait to hear more from Barron Trump.
Oh my God!
As he becomes more of a man, as he grows in his manhood. But let me tell you something. He raised some smart kids. Yeah. And have I don't know if you've seen Trump handle certain interviewers, but he doesn't. He comes into the position that he's way smarter than the person interviewing him. Right? He has no confidence problem whatsoever.
Right.
And he has no problem attacking the premise of a question and framing things the way he wants them framed. And boy, he has just when somebody's being nasty or stupid or whatever, he right away realizes it, and he doesn't play around with reporters. And so just understand this. Here comes this swampy reporter, climbs out of the swamp over here and comes over during this incredibly emotional moment, during this love fest. Everybody's having a good time.
Right.
And just decides he's just too much love going on in here. We got to just have to come in here and be a penis. So I want to show you how Donald Trump Jr. here handles the press. It's really funny.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way as possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay, sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
Just get out of here.
Get lost.
Get lost. Hit the road, Jack.
And don't you come back.
Okay? I mean, seriously. These frickin' people, right? And he said you couldn't even wait just for a minute. Mm-hmm. This night where, Donald Trump, my father, who I was just scared to shitless 2 seconds ago, and you're here talking about separating children at the border and Obama's policies and that they're calling him a liar. I mean,
Sick.
seriously, these people are beyond sick, right? Totally. I just love it, man. Now, okay, here we go. This is the weird part, right? I'm vibing, guys, about everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from.
But
are we sure this was at the...
Yeah, we're sure. This is verified. It's a little weird, so
It's very weird.
Check this out.
So आज्ञाकारी तुम्हारी गत मित तुम ही जानी नानक दास सदा कुर्बानी. Dear Waheguru, our one true God, We thank you for creating America as a
What?
unique haven
Dear
on this earth.
Wagyu, our one true God. What the hell
Yeah.
did she say?
Yeah, she said a name.
Dear Waheguru, our one true God.
Dear Wagyu. God went through God. Get the fuck out of here, lady.
We thank you for creating America as a unique haven on this earth where all people are free to worship according to their faith.
Oh, God.
We seek your blessings and guidance for our beloved country. Please bless our people with wisdom as they vote in the upcoming election, and please bless with humility, honesty, skill, and integrity all those who conduct the election. So आज्ञाकार तुम्हारी गत मित तुम्हारी जानी नानक दास सदा कुर्बान.
Stop.
Dear Waheguru,
Dear water goo.
we thank you for creating
Dear
America as
water
a
goo. What one true God. You're worshiping an idol, lady. You should burn in hell, and that never should have made it into the RNC. Okay? And I think that is Harmeet Dillon.
You do?
I think it is. All right, I'll move on.
Okay.
Holy shit. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, check this out. Is that not beautiful? Fox News had to cover. This is delicious, guys. This is beautiful. Fox News had to cover Tucker Carlson tonight sitting in the same row as President Donald Trump. And by the way, at this point, I think Tucker Carlson is the most famous journalist on the planet.
Yeah, right.
On the planet. Okay? These people. Oh, God. That lady was worse than Yoko Ono, for fuck's sake. God.
Audio assault.
So this is sweet, guys. And every day, this is your uplifting moment for the day. Every day, you need to realize, man, when you think you're down, when you think life is beating the shit out of you, when you think everything is going wrong, okay, God is making adjustments in your life, and you might wind up just sitting next to President Trump. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and not only that, you just might, become the most important figure on the planet. I can't imagine what Donald Trump is feeling right now. The
can't
weight
either.
of what's going. He understands everything that hangs in the balance. And now he feels as if he is the hand of God is upon him. And it's given him a weight of presence that is just astonishing. And if we don't get to it, I mean, I encourage you to go find when he walks in and just watch for about 10 or 15 minutes when he just walks in. And God, he just, people are just applauding and, just so grateful to see that he's okay. And you can see he's like so comfortable in his own skin. Something is different.
Totally.
And I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Now, this is funny. This is funny as shit. And this will give you a snip, okay, a good thing about how, good-natured our president really is. And I think this made him feel so loved and welcome.
Yeah.
But this is a priest. This is pretty funny. This is before the invocation.
It's a great pleasure to be here. Great pleasure to see President Donald Trump safe. And if I may, before the benediction, give you this promise. You're going to be so blessed. You're going to be tired of being blessed. I guarantee it.
That's beautiful.
It's a great pleasure to be here.
That's so good.
Oh, my God. That is so funny, man. But did you see what I'm saying? Do you see this warmth? Do you see this, that he really feels loved? He really feels, I think, in the moment that history and the world and God is smiling upon him. And think about how much shit this man has gotten for so long. How many lies they've told about him. How much smear. How much reproach they brought upon him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the impeachments and the whole Russia hoax and, the
Everything.
James,
Oh my
everything,
God.
all of it, imprisoning his friends. I mean, think about that, imprisoning your friends.
Right, the people.
And
that
then
you
now
brought.
trying to kill him, right?
And
And
bankrupt
so
them.
right now, I mean, God, I can't imagine. He must just be in a bubble, like a glow right now.
So
Incredible, just beautiful. And he is so genuine. But the media won't let you see that. The mainstream media won't let you see that. And speaking of some pretty funny damned impressions, let's take a look at this one.
You can take my ears, but you cannot take my liberty. They want to cut off my ears like the Taliban, but what they don't know is my ears can grow back. Like SpongeBob through budding, by the way. Hit me with your best shot, why don't you? Because if that's the best you got, you're a loser. You're such a loser, you missed so bigly. By the way, you had a big opportunity. You could have made my head blow up on TV, but you didn't do that, did you? Now my ear is going to grow back bigger and better. It will have better hearing. I will hear like an owl.
Can owls hear good?
So yeah, okay, check this out. This was the moment. This was amazing. And I don't know if we've got it. But if we've got Chris Wallace talking about it. I don't know if he's queued up. But let's
I'll look.
just see.
Donald J. Trump.
Scroll up.
Oops.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today.
You notice the Secret Service are all men?
Yeah, now they are.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
J. Trump.
Yeah.
And they're all big men, and
Big
there's
men.
a lot of them.
That's what they need, right?
Yep.
Today, the teachers are here to say.
Nice.
If you hit refresh, there's a couple things.
Oh wow, yeah.
Now that's the only thing I've seen about it.
Yeah,
so.
we've heard that it was a bullet that hit the Kevlar. We're not sure about, which is I don't know. AR rounds they do tumble after a while, but I don't know at 150 yards yet. Generally, rifle ammunition is not hollow point, and it probably would have been armor piercing. So I don't know. Yeah, man, that song, and not only that, it was a live rendition of it. Where did we see this morning? Where they were talking about where it was Chris Wallace.
Okay, I added it, so you got to hit
You
refresh
did.
and go back up
You
to the
did.
top.
All right. Well, then let's watch this first. Then.
Okay.
How is he, and what does your week look like? And was there ever a thought of him going to UFC Denver?
No, he was never going to UFC Denver. I wasn't even in. I was on a plane to Italy, so he wouldn't go to the UFC unless I was there. Number one. Number two, I've been saying this forever about this guy. He is one of the toughest, most resilient human beings that I have ever met in my life. And let me tell you what, everybody wants to act like a tough guy, right? Everybody wants to act like a tough guy. Well, when the shit goes down, you find out who tough guys are and who tough guys are not. This guy is the legitimate, ultimate American badass of all time.
Yep.
You know, the guy takes a shot at him, he goes down, he stands up, and then he starts chanting to the crowd and you know, fight, fight, fight. I literally was blown away. I called him as soon as I landed. I called him and he answered, and he was already home from the hospital. And we talked for like 30 minutes. Pat, I'm telling you, I have never known a human being like this in my life. He is literally one of the toughest, most badass guys of
And he
all
knows a
time.
lot of
And
badass
listen,
guys.
You don't like him. You can say whatever you want about him. It is undebatable now. literally undebatable. A sniper tried to take a shot at him and missed him by millimeters. A bullet through the ear. I had a buddy in Boston when we grew up, and a bunch of guys tried to kill him one night outside of a bar. And he was never the same again. He was never the same. He literally moved out of South Boston and went down South Shore and was never the same again mentally after that happened to him.
That's right.
This guy's almost 80 years old. The guy tried to blow his head off. And to have the reaction that he did when he got up, this guy's been a friend of mine for 25 years. He's one of the greatest human beings I've ever met. He's an unbelievable friend, and he is forever now the ultimate American badass. That picture that you just showed will go down in history 100 years after we're dead.
Yep. Yep. That's absolutely right. So, okay,
The Chris Wallace thing is.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the Chris Wallace thing now, but this whole thing, now apparently was Lindsey Graham was lobbying against.
Yeah, he wanted Tim Scott because they're friends, and then he wanted, who's the second one he wanted?
Yeah, now so Lindsey Graham is a swamp creature, right? Yeah. Right. Yep, and we like black people too. We like black people here.
All right, let's listen to this.
What? This?
Bongino.
All right, let's listen to this. This is Dan Bongino regarding Secret Service response. This is where the women were going, what do we do? Where do we go?
You have one job and only one job. Your job is to keep the body alive no matter what. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, the president of Djibouti, it doesn't matter. That is your job. They absolutely, resolutely, 100% failed. Not a single excuse should be made. Not a single excuse should be attempted. This should be the subject of congressional hearings and investigations, because if they can't do this, and this is the best technology you had, then folks, there's no purpose anymore. This was an apocalyptic security failure, and don't ever forget, an uneventful failure is never a success. And the fact that Donald Trump didn't die yesterday is no reason for anybody to take some kind of victory lap. And before we start sending out plaudits, we better look and do a hot wash on this and find out exactly how abysmal this security plan was.
There you go. And I mean, that's the truth, right? That's it. That's for real. I mean, this never, ever should have happened, right? Never, ever should have happened. So, okay. What's this?
Oh, wait, what's that? Huh.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice, man. Oh my God, this is just. I think there was some. It's very suspicious. Okay, so I don't know where you're coming on this conspiracy. That this guy was an Antifa guy, even spent time overseas fighting. He's a real sleazebag.
Yeah.
He would have been the one who had the rifle experience. Does look an awful lot
and
like
he's from
him.
this area.
Ear gauge issues. Yeah. So the only other issue is they had to set the other guy up as a patsy and get rid of him.
Right.
Or he's somewhere in some MK Ultra facility getting juiced up with LSD and for some other purpose. I don't know. But there's got to be complicated to make it happen. But you know what? It's not. I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility that it's this guy, Maxwell Yerk. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. But,
We've been lied to for so long.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, and there's no transparency. And still we haven't heard from the Secret Service. Mm-hmm. Right? Still. So, okay. Let me see. What else we got here? All right. That's about it. Let me go to the Topsies. And this Chris Wallace thing was pretty impressive.
Okay, there's two Chris Wallace things because I wasn't sure.
All right.
I want to make sure.
This one and this one.
2 minutes and 44 seconds. I don't know which one.
This one's the longer one. Let's see.
An obviously emotional Donald Trump greeting a crowd, and they're chanting "Fight, fight," which is what he said right after the attempted assassination attempt. And you can see the emotion on his face. It looks like possibly even tears on his face. This crowd joyfully welcoming him back after the horrible events over the weekend. Viva Trump, they're saying now. Oh, we love Trump. I'm sorry. I was having a flashback to the 2000 convention. We love Trump, they're saying. We love Trump. Chris.
Winston Churchill famously said, "Nothing in life is so exhilarating as to be shot at without effect." And you could see that today. The idea that just hours ago, a few days ago, this man, an assassin's bullet whizzed by him, hit him in the ear, inches from his temple. It'd be just by the slightest fraction of an inch. He survived, shot at without effect, and you can see the joy of this crowd. I got to tell you, somebody who's been covering these conventions since 1964, that may have been the most electric moment I ever saw. That was quite extraordinary. You whether you like the man or not, that was.
Michigan. Well, I mean, this is a crowd. These are tens of thousands of people who love Donald Trump, and they almost lost him. This figure that figures so prominently in their lives.
And it's so interesting tonight. There has been zero talk about the Democrats and rhetoric and political rhetoric and blaming the media, and it's all been talk about divine providence, a miracle, and I think that's what most of these people view, is that it is by the grace of God that Donald Trump is here tonight and representing them going forward.
That's right. And you feel the grace of God, Chris Wallace. You do. And so does everyone, right? And I think that's pretty much a good place to wrap this one up today. Don't you think?
Yeah, except I thought there was one more thing I wanted to play. Hang on. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's go up here and wrap it up a little bit and just have a chat. There's undoubtedly, in my opinion, something going on with Donald Trump.
Yep.
He appears different. He looks different. I'm excited as hell to see what comes out of his mouth next.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about his acceptance speech.
Yeah.
I'm curious whether the party can continue to be disciplined as they are. They're tightening up, and the ship is tight. Messaging is tight. As you even heard Chris Wallace, after he broke up, acknowledging the power of God, which I just love.
Yeah.
Is that he's, and he's talking about the amazing unity that is felt right now that's going on. But he said, yeah, man, no negative energy, right? That's what he said. No. They're just talking about all the great things that this platform and this country can do, and just be in an amazing moment that we're here, and thank God our leader is still alive, right? And so, yeah, we are looking at, I think, some sort of revival. And so, poo-poo caca on Matt Wallace, Matt Walsh. For poo-poo cocking on this lady. What's her name?
Amber Rose.
Yeah. The heck with that. We need to be welcoming. We need to be a big tent party as long as we don't sell out our own morals, right, in the process. But we need to welcome people in, right? And it takes time. People wake up, but, everybody has different kind of awakenings, right? And so as long as they're not coming here, just like Californians, you don't move here, don't change the politics here. It's okay. You can enjoy the barbecue and all that shit, but don't mess things up. But anyway, so yeah, the numbers have got to be unbelievable. But he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what they are, right? And so, and even if he did, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that it would make a difference to him.
Right.
Because he's so demented, he's so set in that I think he's just a power-hungry man. And this is what happens when you when you strip away, I mean, that interview was horrible.
It was awful.
And when you see this animatronic skeleton, stretch that flesh over an otherworldly smile, that's just not real. It's not human anymore. The guy is just like, and it's all talking points, and it's evil. You can see they just want to beat him. They hate him. They can't stand it. He's still a threat to democracy. They didn't back down. They didn't turn down the temperature, not one damn bit. But yet over at the RNC, la da 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 da. All you need is love, love. So, right. So that's it, right? But I hope you enjoyed being with us today. I hope we're helping you break this stuff down. I hope it helps you make sense of it. I hope you're encouraged, right? Because I want to, encourage people. I want people. It's so hard these days with as much shit. Donald Trump almost got assassinated. We need to be looking on the bright side.
Yeah.
And one of the huge things I believe in is sovereign God. And if God's got his hand on you, right? If God is for us, who can be against us? What? One of the most powerful verses in the Bible. If God can be for us, who can be against us? No man. No, it's not going to happen. We win, right? So, yeah. And so I would say that you need to get on the winning team, right? That means get with Jesus, right? Be a good thing. And if you don't know him, keep coming back because I'll teach you about that.
Yeah.
And so
feel free to DM us.
Yeah,
if you
DM
have
us.
some questions.
Yeah, ask questions. We're very approachable. I'm very approachable. And I want to help you if you don't understand. And I like a good debate too. So I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've chased away plenty of people in my life. I like to argue. So, but yeah, so like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Hopefully you've been reading the banner down there and you can see that we've got a tip button and we got a link tree and other places. I write as well. And we have a church on Sundays. And then we also have other live broadcasts when things are going to break.
Yep.
We'll
be
get on and
broadcasting
try to fix it.
live.
Yep.
We'll be broadcasting live the RNC the rest
Yeah,
of the week.
we'll be doing the RNC the rest of the week. And we'll be online and on camera during the more relevant portions.
Right.
And when it's kind of like, just other people doing things that are not as interesting, I might be cleaning my house and trying to get, things done to move down to Florida, start putting some books in boxes and just stuff like that. So,
Yay.
And anyway, so that's it. We thank you for being here. We enjoyed having you. All the people here this morning. Jeff, we had Jeff was here. We had the Coon here. Arby was here with us. Mike, Mr. Bacon Cheesin. Denise was here as always. Our faithful Grey Wolf was here.
Grey Wolf.
Yeah, it's good to have him here. And I think we had one or two new people that were here today that I've never seen before. And I think they said good morning, but then otherwise we're, I guess, what do they call it? Flying under the radar or whatever the hell you call it. You can tell I'm not really I'm an old guy. I'm not like super, Waz was here today. I'm not super internet savvy all the time. This comes difficult to me. It's hard. It's a lot
It
of
gets
work.
harder
It's
when you get older.
hard.
We were big techie people when we were in our 30s and 40s.
Yeah, I have been all my life.
Yeah.
So, look, obviously we got to be able to do it, but boy, it wasn't easy.
No.
It wasn't easy. Man,
It's hard learning when you're old.
remember it took me weeks literally to figure out why I had an echo every time I played, like, the sound, the clips and stuff.
Right.
It sounded like it was in a hollow auditorium.
Right.
Well, that's because there's like a volume, or there's volumes and there's sounds and mutes, like 6 of them everywhere, plus
Right,
on the
you can make it sound
soundboard
like a
everywhere.
hall. Yeah.
And so, yeah, sometimes I don't even know how to turn the sound off. It's crazy.
Just flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, man. But, hopefully you feel like you get a good product and that we do a good job entertaining you and that you feel like we're kind of a family and we have a friend in the morning and, a friend in the morning you have coffee with and that we figure this stuff out and we help you keep your sanity. We help you keep your spirits up and that you learn something here about how to navigate through life. So my wife tells me all the time that I have a difficult time wrapping things up, so I'm going to wrap this up. So my name is Tim. I'm your truth slinger. It's Hippie Chick over there, Jennifer. We are out of here, right?
Out of here.
Mooing stuff.